So this is really quick. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, good afternoon, everyone. Michael Brown here, team leader for Keller Williams Realty NYC Group here in the Bronx, and I have the pleasure, utmost pleasure, to sit here with Ron Ferrara. He is one of the top, was one of the top agents in the Jackson Heights office. And now,
I still have a team.
Right, and now became the OP. And for those of you who don't know what OP means, we're going to use very low.
Low cognitive
words, right?
Low
the
cognitive load. We're simplifying.
That's right.
For you.
That's right. He is the owner of the Jackson Heights office, which is a huge deal, right? This is an office of 350 people, making over $300,000 plus a year in profit.
Close to that.
Yeah. Since I left, So we're going to keep it really brief. We have a few questions that we want to ask Ron about his journey, becoming the operating principal of Keller Williams franchise. So,
okay.
Introduce.
I'm here. I'm an open book.
Introduce yourself to the crew. Who are you? What do you do?
I'm Ron, and I started in real estate in 2013. I was a solo agent until 2018. And then I wanted to keep growing because I had a lot of success as a solo agent. So then I decided to start a team. Started a team, still have that team, and grew that to over 40 million in volume.
That's huge. And
now I got the opportunity to become the owner of the Market Center in Jackson Heights. And so excited I'm so excited for the opportunity because now I get to impact more people. And that's my passion in life, impacting people. And because this business has changed my life. I was kind of lost before I found this business. I didn't know that you could start a business in real estate just with your own hard work and efforts. And it's low cost to start.
That's right.
And it just takes a lot of energy. It's high energy, low cost.
That's right.
That's what I have. I have a lot of energy.
I think something you just said kind of leads me to my next question. And big shout out to Jen Blake, because I remember when she joined.
My partner on my team.
And it was like, there were times where she didn't think she was going to make it, and I think that's what's cool about real estate, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you stick with it, even in the times where you think you're not going to make it, and find really good people to partner with, it makes that journey a little bit easier.
Yeah.
And I saw her doing a video the other day, and I was like, yo, that's Jen. Like, she's like fucking running Ron Ferrara sales team. That's so cool.
Yeah. And I feel like that's important what you just said because partnering with people is so important. I have my team leader. She's over here. You don't see her, but we partnered with her 2 months ago, partnered with Jen Blake in 2019, and now she's a partner with me on the team.
So it's been 6 years.
Yeah, 2019, January 2019, she started to sue me. Actually, 7 years that is. So 7 years.
It's crazy. And so that leads, like, you said some of the answers to how did you go from an agent to leadership? And one of the things you said that seemed very important is that you wanted to impact more people.
Yes. 100%. Right?
Well,
that wasn't my probably original intention. Originally, I was capped out on my production. So if you're an agent and you're really just doing everything you have to do and focusing on lead generation, and you want to focus on listings, I would say. So if you are maxed out on your listings and you focus on listings, then you're going to have an abundance of buyers that you can't work. So now you have an opportunity for somebody to come on and work those buyers and also help you get listings.
That's right.
So it was just a natural progression when you're a listing-focused agent to have buyer's agents to help you, and it's time leverage. I wanted to get my time back. I have 3 kids, busy. Coaching, basketball, all of that, and I wanted to have, and I wanted to impact others. Yeah. It turned out to be more of the impact that was important to me, but it's the time and the impact, which is exciting. So that was a natural progression.
It feels natural, and it feels so genuine to watch you in motion. I remember those days when I remember Boris. I remember all the guys you hired initially in that little cube. The cube was probably half the size of this room, and you would squeeze people in there.
Yeah, we had 4 people
slide the door closed
in a small room.
But tell us a little bit about your regimen, because I talk about that a lot to our agents here, and your routines. From what I remember, was 9 to 12.
Yes.
And you were like a DJ. You had 2 headsets, you had 4 screens. You were like, chicka, chicka, chicka. All right, seller, this seller, and tell us a little bit about that and how'd you got from that regimen to today.
Well, the regimen is always you focus on the 20% that moves the needle, right? So it's the 80-20 principle. So the 20% is always going to be your lead gen. So, and you also got to do that in the beginning of the day, in my opinion. Get the hardest work done first. So I said, you know what? Everything else could be done afternoon. But the morning is going to be lead gen. And I was a listing-focused agent, so I said, you know what? If I work 220 days a year, take some days off, go to conferences, go on vacations, but I'm going to work 220 days a year, then if I could get 25, 30 listings in those 220 days, I'm going to be successful.
And high price listings. Like, I remember when, you did 20-something transactions, but they were all $900, $1 million, $800. They weren't co-ops.
Right. You're going for the higher price houses.
Right.
With, I always try to make a certain amount on each deal as a business owner.
That's right.
I want to know my numbers, and I want to know what I'm trying to accomplish every day, and that motivates you.
Yeah.
So I would do that. I would come with a goal, come with a purpose every single day to book an appointment with a seller, and that was non-negotiable, and become great at that. And like the one thing says, like, what's the one thing that will change your life? If you're in this business, become a seller lead generator. That's going to change your life, and that changed my life.
Watching you changed my life with that regimen. I'm serious. It just like, all right, if I could just get that down, and I know 12 o'clock you were going to the gym, 1 o'clock you were done with the gym, 1:30.
That's another thing I would tell people, enjoy the process.
That's right.
Find how you can enjoy the process, because in life you're going to win with longevity. You're going to win when you could do it for a long period of time. Because it's going to take time. It's not going to, you're not going to start today and be killing it tomorrow. It might even take you a couple years. But if you could stick with it for a long period of time. So in order to do that, you have to enjoy the process. So find something you enjoy. If you don't enjoy calling, if you just enjoy being out there in open houses, do 20 open houses a week.
Good point.
You gotta scale it up. You gotta go big.
That's right.
You gotta take a lot of action.
And if you don't like doing open houses, do something but find something
Network,
that you can
throw parties, be friends with everybody, but you just gotta do it at a high level. With the goal of generating seller leads, I would say. You can also work buyers at a high level, but then you probably need a lot of help too.
I remember Gary Kelling yelling at us, "Hey, you idiots, go take buyer listings." And now the government forced us to do it after August 17th. You got to go take buyer listings. So now we were taking buyer listings.
I think it's better.
It has saved, I think, everyone's productivity. Because people walk, getting up and meeting a Craigslist killer at a vacant house with no agreement signed. Nothing.
You don't want to do that.
You don't want to do that. Not here in the Bronx.
Yeah, no, it's same thing. And now you can go in and get a buyer to sign, and if they don't sign, then you move on.
That's right.
Because they should commit to you.
That's right.
But yeah, no, I would say, so the progression was, started the team, and then I realized my passion was pouring into people. Because I had my team, and I was doing team meetings with them, and I was really realized how passionate I am about helping people grow. And then I always knew that owning an office would be the next level of that. And so then I started planting the seeds in the old OP's head 5 years ago, because you got to think long range. And I said, you know what? Eventually, when you do move on, I want to be that next person. And
so you were planting the seeds.
Yeah, hell yeah. I follow up.
Yeah.
You got to follow up.
Right?
You have to follow up.
I love that. But you were very intentional about this process. This wasn't by accident. No. It wasn't like he one day came in and says,
I got lucky in terms of that he chose me.
Right.
It wasn't a given that he chose me, but he did. But I put it out there into the universe that I wanted that, because I always wanted to, first of all, I want to be a business owner.
That's right.
For the time leverage you also can get back, which is, I advise everybody, buy rental properties and try to own businesses to get your time back as well. But yeah, no, I planted that seed, and luckily it bloomed.
Yeah, it totally worked out. So, something I heard, planting seeds, investing in people.
And if you're an agent, plant seeds. Because I still take listings, and those are seeds I planted 5 years ago. I had somebody call me before I left for family reunion, and they were somebody I first talked to in 2015. And I met with them in 18. And then I followed up. And then it was an older woman, and she actually passed away recently. And I had met her and her daughter at the house in 19. And then I couldn't get in touch with this lady for years. I just gave up because I guess because she had moved away and stuff. But I made an impact by meeting them in 2019. And the daughter called me and they said, the attorney recommended somebody else, but we're going with you. Because I remember you and my mother really appreciated you. And she appreciated that I followed up. And I was just on top of it. I was like, I want to work with you. I want to work with you. I want to work with you.
Love
and then eventually they remembered that.
I love it.
Follow up.
Plant
seeds.
Plant seeds, right? Follow up, plant seeds, regimen, routine. Now, something I want to talk about is the mindset shifts that changed everything.
Okay.
What was that? So it's funny, you talk about success leaves clues, and I mean this sincerely. I follow everything you do. I hired Lars.
Lars is amazing.
So anytime Ron said something, I'd be like, I'd start go research it, like, what's he talking about?
So what is Lars? Lars is real estate business school. You could go anywhere you want, but get educated.
That's right.
Get educated. And Keller Williams has maps.
Right. We're not pushing any coach here. We're get a coach.
I don't care who it is. Get educated. Stay educated. Stay educated. That's important. Yeah. Like I did that video this morning, the resilience.
That's
top
right.
5 habits of resilience. One is
I watch all his videos.
Number 2 is insight. Right. Insight. You want to be growing at all times.
That's right.
I'm always listening to podcasts every day. I want to listen to successful people because I need that push to stay resilient. So get educated. And then when you plug into coaches and mentors and people that are doing bigger things, it keeps you excited. And then you can see, then you have a vision. You could see ahead into the future.
You could see what you could be him. You could be Lars. You could be this guy.
When I started the business in 2013, I went to Miami for a conference, and I always say I saw the people on stage, and they were killing it. They were making millions just on the phones calling, and I said, I want to be them. Not them. I said, if I could make half of them,
right?
Quarter
but that's
of them,
it, right? If I could make half of what they're making on stage, I'll be good.
Yeah.
So you just implemented that work ethic.
You need to grow, and you need to get inspired and get educated. Bring the questions on. Keep them coming.
Inspired education. Now, the systems, what were the systems behind massive production? I joke about the 2 headsets or having 2 mojos, but that's just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah. Systems are, it sounds complicated. It sounds like a complicated word. It's not. It's simple steps you're going to take every day to move the ball forward. So my systems are always just generating a lead every day. How am I going to do that? What are my scripts? What are my sources that I'm calling? What tools am I using? The Mojo.
And you were a circle prospecting guy. You weren't a Fishbowl and expired person.
I did circle prospecting. I've done expires, done estates. I'm always trying to improve that process. So it's every little part of the system improving, getting better data, getting better scripts, calling more aggressively to your leads, delegating everything else to admin and staff. That's the system. So you got to build that out. And how do you once again, delegation, leverage, keeping your 20% the focus for your day and hitting your goals. So I would say that's the system that I used to propel.
The other day I had asked you about, because I remember the days of you having the 2 dialers, and I remember asking.
I did 2 dialers at once because I was doing
TCPA compliant.
Yes,
Okay.
Always scrub the do not call list.
That's right.
But I was calling expireds, and these lists, if you use a Mojo dialer and you're calling expireds, you'll realize that you might get 3 contacts in an hour. So I'm like, how do I leverage this? So then I just got a second Mojo account. I had them both on my computer. I had 2 headsets, and I'm calling 6 lines at once.
So in a week, I remember one day, if I remember this number correctly, I asked you in the 3 hours, how many people you dialed? I think the number was 600 or something crazy.
I think it was 2,000.
I knew it was something crazy dials.
I spoke to maybe 200, 250. That was one day.
But that's
crazy.
That
was 6 hours. I just
I'm going. That by 5.
I want to push myself always.
You did that by 5. That's 10,000 in one day. I mean, in 1 week. Times a year.
No,
times 40.
I would do $2,000 a lot.
I remember that. And so, to your point, we all have to scale it up. Whatever you're doing, whether it's open houses, doing an open house a weekend isn't enough.
Yeah.
Our broker challenged us the other day. He said, "Can you do an open house every day?" Absolutely. You do one every day at 6:00, and you can have a system around doing it. If you don't want cold calling, is not in a TCPA compliant way. You don't have to cold call.
No.
But that was his thing that he found, and it worked out extremely well.
I like talking to people on the phone. I like that.
I remember this day. This was funny. This lady hung up on you, and you were not fazed at all. You're like, ah. And 10 minutes later, she calls back. And he was like, I told you. I don't care. And I think it's all about your attitude.
Mm-hmm.
All about your attitude, all about how you position yourself on the phone in that initial phone call. You came across as the expert.
Yes.
So even if she banged on you, you're like, all right, she's going to call me back. And literally, she called back.
It's a mindset. Yeah. It's like I'm the professional, and I'm always going to come from a place of authority. Yeah. In a nice manner that I'm helping, but I'm the authority. And I think the guy at Family Reunion talked about that.
That's right.
Donald Miller.
That's right.
That was really good. It was the story brand, and how he said, you have to be the guide.
Right. You can't be the hero.
Right. Your client's the hero.
Yeah. But
you have to be the authority. You're the guide. The guide is always the authority.
And I think in this business,
the client has a problem. They're the character.
I'm not solving it. I'm bringing them along, and I think as a realtor, it's easy to be like, hero, I solved it. Yeah, I'm number one. True. It's never that. It's the complete opposite of that. That was my takeaway from that.
That was great. That was wonderful. I love that.
I don't have to be the hero. Thank God.
You are a hero. My
Now, finally, what do you think most agents are getting wrong about this journey? Because it's not just, hey, I do 20-something transactions. It's a journey to wherever it is they want to go. And
what do you mean by getting wrong, though? What do you mean by that?
So, I find often in our business, we give up too easily.
Well, that's where I was going with it.
Right?
They're not understanding the opportunity that we have. They're not seeing it. They're missing the opportunity. when you realize the opportunity, which I realized when I was 31 and worked on Wall Street for 9 years and worked 12 hours a day with no lunch, going into Manhattan, worked nonstop from 6:30 in the morning till 6 at night.
No lunch.
I ran and got it.
Right, you can eat while you're walking.
Going.
Right.
And then I came into this, I said, I could work probably less hours and still make tons of money. So, but I burned the ships. As I was saying, I was going to say that earlier. I burned the ship. There was no failure.
There was no other plan B.
There's no plan B.
That's right.
If you got to come in at 7 and work till 7 and you got to build a business, like, you have to build a business.
Right.
And guess what? It's going to get better, but it's going to be hard at first.
That's right.
And you got to get momentum. And when I first started, I went all in. Because I said the opportunity's here. And I was at a point in my life where I wanted to excel. I was like frustrated with where I was in my last career, so I said, this is the opportunity. But everybody has that opportunity, but you gotta push it.
Something you just said that really struck with me. You said from the day you started, you went all in.
Mm-hmm. All in.
And I think
got the mojo before
right. Before you even know how to dial. Right.
I got a coach. I found a guy at the conference, sat next to him, and he was doing like 30 deals a year in Denver, which he was a hero to me for doing 30 deals. Like, oh my God, this guy's crazy. And I didn't have the 1,000 to pay the coach, or I didn't want to. I was like, that's a lot, He's like, I'll coach you for $250. I was like, bang, I'll do $250 right now. Sign me up.
I don't even know who you are, but I'll coach you for $250.
And he was a great coach. Honestly, he told me role play, practice. He told me, just follow, get the mojo, get the scripts. We role played, so he was great. And then when I could afford it, I got the $1,000 coach.
Something also I hear when you say that is you invested in yourself.
Right from day one, I was scared to get the mojo for $150 a month, and then I think he was the one who told me, he's like, you're starting this is a business. Like, if you opened up a coffee shop, you're probably laying out $100,000.
That's right.
Before you make $1.
You can't say, hey, I'm not going to get coffee filters. I'm just gonna use paper.
You got to build out the space.
Right.
You got to do that. You got to hire somebody. Maybe you got to. This business, I mean, $2,000, $3,000, you're good. You're probably up and running. You probably don't even need that. Right. So you got to have, you got to invest in yourself. But the most important part is probably the education, and the tools.
So what agents get wrong? Don't go all in from day one.
Yep.
From day one, and all in is relative. For
all in is your energy.
That's it.
You got to put the energy in.
That's it.
But you got to realize it's all about momentum, and you're gonna break through eventually. But once you gotta get into that momentum, because when you start winning, then it gets a lot easier.
That's right.
Now I jump on the phones. I could do it. I mean, I'm a little busy, but when I could jump on the phones, I'd love it because I know I'll win.
Let's talk about that, because the other day I said, well, Ron, are you still having the $2 and still making $2,000 a week? He's like, hell no. You have.
I wish I could.
You have people in place that are doing that now.
We'll have a team, and that's when you have leverage. You can hire people, train people, and then when you have partners, it's good because you can take less of the pie. But if the pie gets bigger, and then you get your time back to do other things, So that I couldn't take this opportunity if I didn't have good partners in my team and stuff like that to help guide that, keep that rolling, and then then I can do other opportunities. Yeah. And we spoke about that the other day, in terms of you, if you want to go into other opportunities, other things, you partner, and then there's so many things like in this business I love it. And I realized the family reunion, there's so many places you can go in this company.
So many.
It's crazy.
One of the classes, or one of the panels, this gentleman owned an office here, but his team was here, and then he had another business there. And I think so often in this business, we're like, we got to stay in the Bronx, or we got to stay local. No, you can be all over the place and just have pieces of business here. And I think the opportunity, one of the things I'm big on for my staff is helping them get opportunities.
Yes.
But I can't help them get opportunities unless I put my mask on first.
What do you mean?
Right? And scale it large enough so that they can have some...
You know what? Ben Kenny did he zoomed into our office a few years back, and that was the one question I asked him. Why do you keep going? Why you're like so successful? I think he's a billionaire right now.
It has to be. He owns multiple businesses.
I don't know if I don't know if he was a billionaire at that time, but I'm like,
it's got to be easily.
Why are you on an island sipping a moment?
Why are you on this Zoom right now?
And he said, you know what? I got to keep growing because my people want to keep growing. So I love that. I love that answer because I want to keep growing. And I told Maria that because Maria's going to take my job one day.
That's what you want.
And
I'm
going to go higher.
That's right.
Yes.
And no problem giving up a piece of that for someone to take over their role.
100%. Right. And she's recording me right now, so I can't change my mind on that one.
Ron, anything last words you want to leave with them?
Make it happen. Make it happen.
We all have the same opportunity.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, you're my idol.
It's not easy.
Not easy.
I'd be lying to you if I told you it was easy.
Yeah.
But, if you enjoy the process and you want to go out and help people, and you bring a lot of energy every day. And you know, really honestly, follow me on Instagram at Ron Ferrara Real Estate.
That's right.
Go to my post from today, the top 5 habits to be resilient. And that's the most important thing, honestly. I love Jay Shetty said that, and I stole it from him.
But no, you are resilient.
But
when I think about your story and where you got to, I remember almost everything you would tell me, and it was like, yeah, I go to the gym, you know, like, and just
exercise, sleep,
yeah,
you know, gratitude. I'm not great at. I gotta work on that. I was like, I want more, but I'm very thankful. And but the insight is important. The growth mindset. I always wanted to grow and learn. I'm passionate about that. I always wanted to learn.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it. Keep going, guys. Keep going.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Thank you, Ron.
You the man.
Thank you, man. All right, so now we go talk to the rest.
All
of
right, let's go.